a strawberry
Is that? Oh, okay.
smoothie.
I was gonna say, is
Actually
that boba?
healthy. No, it's not boba.
Oh, so I
I
haven't
thought you were
had
about to
that.
say jalapeno
I
smoothie.
know.
It's like, oh god.
Strawberry
That's just
milkshake.
a strawberry smoothie.
Was
Yeah,
that
strawberry
Five Guys? It
smoothie.
looked like Five Guys or something.
Five Guys. It's
What? Do you not have?
Juiced it up.
Juiced it up. What the fuck is juiced
Juiced
it up?
it up. Do you guys have a Jamba Juice?
Yeah. Same thing.
Okay, same concept.
Well,
I
technically,
haven't
actually,
seen a Jamba Juice in years.
yeah, actually, I was gonna say technically we had a Jamba Juice right by the Notre Dame campus, and now it's gone. I don't know. It wasn't making enough money or something.
Oh.
I read something a while ago, an article on this.
About
Like
what?
apparently Jamba Juice just like massively, like they had way too much like product or something on hand. Like
Like
they
they
were
weren't
just being
selling
super
enough?
Yeah, well they
Oh.
were like over ordering and it was like expensive stuff and
Well, it was pretty
it
expensive to
was like
begin
their
with.
company policy.
Well,
So
I was gonna say I was just talking about this too, cause like I
What?
actually like Jamba Juice, and I feel
Huh.
like their fruits are like I don't know, their smoothies tasted better to me.
I can't tell you. I haven't had one in years. They probably were.
Quality
They probably
thing.
use better. Yeah, they probably use better quality.
Better ingredients, but it was just more expensive.
Papa
They
John's,
couldn't
you
keep
know.
up with it.
Yeah.
that is always kind of a difficult place to be in, right? Like if you're trying to offer upscale like quality shit, but also be like
Reasonable
a
prices
fast,
and
like essentially like a fast food version
Yeah.
of smoothies.
Yeah.
Like
Wait, do you guys have a Smoothie King?
yes, I've
Okay.
had Smoothie King.
Oh, really?
I don't
Okay,
know
you
what
do
that
have it. That might be a Midwest thing then. I think I have a feeling.
I haven't seen one in Chicago actually, but in Michigan, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like everybody's gonna want a smoothie now in chat. Although it's getting colder. I mean, do you guys still grab smoothies when it's cold? Okay, never mind. It
Oh,
gets
yeah.
cold where I live. For
Yeah.
Mel, okay. Well, how cold
I
does
mean,
it get
it's
for
like,
you?
It's like, well, I live in the high desert, so you're normal. Like,
Okay.
I don't know what's cold for you. I guess like it's average.
I mean,
60
snow.
degrees
For
right
me?
now.
Snow.
Okay, we don't get snow.
Yeah, I
Cold
know.
for
I
me
didn't
is
bring
like
that up.
negative 15 degrees, like
Okay,
negative
then
10 degrees.
you know we don't get to that. We don't get to that. We're like at what I think
Yeah.
the lowest that we've got is like
60?
40s.
40s? Okay. That's
'Cause I
pretty
live
cold, I
out
feel
there.
like, actually, for there.
It's cold here because, mind you, I live in the high desert. When you think of desert, you don't think of cold.
You don't think of
really.
40s, no.
No,
Like,
it
at all.
actually snows here randomly. Like
Okay.
it actually snows.
Technically, the Antarctic, with the Arctic or the Antarctic is a desert.
Oh,
It's not
Lord.
there.
Oh, Lord. I don't know.
Yes.
Is that north or south? Wait. I'm
Arctic is north, Antarctic is south.
Oh, okay.
Antarctic means, but weirdly enough, Antarctic actually means no bears.
We need to do
There's no
some
polar bears there.
we need to do some geography in the podcast today. No, anyways,
GeoGuessr.
oh, true, GeoGuessr. Oh my god, that'd be like a fun segment actually for each podcast or something.
I've never done that.
Have you never done
Yeah,
GeoGuessr?
I've never done that.
Well,
People do it.
and they made it like different. They've added game modes and stuff. I don't know. I'd have to look into it a little bit more. See what they've added. Okay, let's go ahead and get into a topic here. I got to bring this up really quick. Let's see. Well, okay, so one that I actually think we might have all heard about. Have you all heard about the Mario movie? Is that something? I know we're a little late on it.
I saw it on your video.
Bro, dude, Chris Pratt is so
Okay, so you saw it on my video, but you didn't see anything
You
else.
don't
Okay.
like Chris Pratt?
Well, okay, so Mel, if you haven't heard, for everybody else in chats and stuff like that that hasn't heard, Chris Pratt was casted as Mario, right, in the new Super Mario movie, and people aren't liking it because he's not Italian.
Oh, the whole race thing.
Well, yeah, because
Okay,
he's not
okay.
Italian, and they're like, why don't you get an
it's
Italian
not even
guy?
the Italian thing.
It's
just
more.
like
It's more than that
Chris
too.
Pratt has played many characters, but
Yes, he
sounding
has.
like an Italian plumber is not one of them.
Yeah,
I
so
genuinely don't think he has the voice acting ability to do it.
yeah, I guess basically my questions are just like, what are you guys' thoughts on Chris Pratt? I was gonna pull up more of the cast and see what other.
Do it. The whole cast
Have they
is
done a
fucking gold.
trailer yet? Not yet, right?
What's that?
No.
Is it just an announcement of the cast?
Announcement of the cast, and it's coming in 2022. Animated movie, obviously. I would hope so anyway. And yeah, let me find the cast. You guys go ahead and talk about it.
Let me ask this first. Have any of you guys seen the old live action Mario movie?
Well, yes. Mel, have you?
I saw a little bit. I saw like
It's
bits and
wild.
pieces from the YouTube video.
It's rough.
It's a very wild movie.
It's an experience. I don't think it's gonna be like that, but
No.
just the cast is such a like motley crew of.
Like
It's
a
like
whole
they
bunch of
put.
A-listers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically. I'm
they
pulling it
had
up.
to have spent like literally tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, like just to get
So
These
the
people
there's
actors.
here.
9. You guys want me to run down it real quick? Let's see if you guys know
Yeah,
all
Yeah,
of them.
let's see it.
go over.
Okay, so we got Chris Pratt as Mario. We got Charlie Day as Luigi. If you
That'll be
guys,
good.
yeah, if you guys don't know Charlie Day, I'm getting too bright on my webcam now. Charlie Day, Mel, do you know
Mel,
from
like-
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? He's got the higher pitched
yeah.
voice. Okay, he'll be Luigi. That one I'm like kind of okay with. I also think Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach is fine. I don't know if you guys know who that is. Yes, I feel like I need to bring it up on the screen or something.
For Peach, you said?
For Peach. Here, let me share my screen really quick. Here. So everybody can see it. So that's Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach.
Okay.
Charlie Day as Luigi. I don't even actually know the next ones. Continue next slide. Jack Black as Bowser. How are we doing that?
Okay, that.
I
Because-
like that because I love Jack Black. Like Jack Black doesn't fail to amuse me.
But like, okay,
No,
I'm
I
just
don't
wondering
know
how
how-
they're doing. Yeah, like how are they doing the voices? How are they doing the movie in
I
general?
feel like
you know what I
it's
mean?
gonna be like a Sonic, like you know how Sonic was like that CGI, like that advanced
Oh,
CGI
God.
stuff.
Well,
I feel
yeah.
like it's gonna be like that because they can't be like the actors actually dressed up as these characters. Like they're gonna involve some
Sure
kind
they
of
could.
like I don't know,
Oops.
because
I don't know. I could see them. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure
wait,
it's
is
just
this
voice
real?
acting.
Is this real? Wait, I didn't
Seth
realize.
Rogen is Donkey
Okay,
Kong?
I didn't even actually
Yes.
look through all of it. So yeah, Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
Yes, Seth Rogen is.
I feel like this is a meme.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Nintendo is like let's just get who are the top 9 actors in Hollywood right now and was
Well,
just like put them together.
That's the thing is like I don't think if you were to have posted this
Okay.
and been like, hey guys, there's gonna be a Mario movie this is the cast.
And you say
nobody
these
would fucking
people,
believe
right?
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
If
nobody would
people,
believe you.
yeah, if it didn't come from a reputable source, like meaning Nintendo themselves,
Dude,
would we think
as
Keegan Michael Key
Toad?
as Toad? Like, would anybody?
Keegan as
Yup.
Toad.
Yeah. Okay, we got a
Yep.
couple more. We got Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. Okay, didn't know
Oh,
that one.
That fits him. That fits
Starring
him.
Rob.
Starring me, yeah. Kevin Michael Richardson as who is this? I actually don't know who this is. You guys know who that is?
Kevin
Looks
Richardson.
familiar.
I reckon I can't
Nope.
remember what he's from.
So yeah. Anyways, that's our cast. Who was 9? Sebastian Man. I don't know who that is. I recognize him. But he'll be Spike. But anyways, yeah, that's our cast here. We're gonna keep with the top, the 3 main ones, yeah, or even Bowser.
I like Charlie Day.
I actually, okay, yeah, I think we all agreed Charlie Day is kind of alright. Okay, let's talk about Chris Pratt. Okay, there was an idea floating around how this is how they're gonna do the movie. Because is Chris Pratt gonna do a Mario voice the entire time? Do you guys think so?
Yeah,
He's gonna have to.
I do.
He's gonna have to. Let me get this
I
actually off the
genuinely
screen.
believe
too.
that Chris Pratt is gonna try to do a Mario voice the entire time.
Okay, so
Yep.
I don't know if he can do that. Well, there was a theory rolling around that like the beginning of the movie will start that way, and then it'll be like Mario will all of a sudden like do like a coughing. He'll like start coughing, and then Chris Pratt's voice will come out
Fix his
and
voice,
say, "Oh, this has
like,
been my voice the whole time." Kind of, yeah.
What?
That's a
That would be
theory, and that's the way they
the
think they can get a
single-
workaround. Yeah.
That would be the single dumbest thing that they.
Well,
could
okay,
do.
why couldn't they get the Mario voice guy, or just a, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
so no,
voice
so the
actor
guy
to do
who's-
the Mario
The
voice.
voice actor for Mario is like 80 years old, and the reason they didn't have him do it is because they don't think that he could actually like do that voice. That voice is a lot, like a huge strain on him. So
Yeah.
they couldn't have him do like a whole movies of
A
di-
whole movie,
movies
like a
worth
lot
dialogue.
of dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah, he's old and it's difficult for him.
So I mean, I don't
I
know.
get it.
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
think what really kind of screwed them over with the announcement though was like the first person you announced, you're like, okay, we're doing a Mario movie. First person is Chris Pratt, and then everybody's like,
Well-
okay, wait, what? And then the
Okay.
next sentence is he's so cool.
Oh
It's like,
yeah, it was a little weird. Yeah, Mel.
That's
the
how
so
they
cool
announced
comment
it?
is what made it memeable.
Well, yeah, it was like because I think what it was the Japanese whoever was announcing it in Japanese, it was like being translated to English, and I don't think
And
it
it
was.
just sounds, yeah.
It wasn't being translated very well, or it just the way it was translated made it sound very like weird.
I
and-
mean, even if
yeah.
it was translated
Per-
poorly,
right.
I don't.
But
Chad is asking, is there going
Yes.
to be a lot of dialogue in the movie? You
I
think?
would imagine so. Why wouldn't there? I
With the
mean,
cast they have,
you
it would be
okay?
weird if they did.
Think about it. This is gonna be a movie geared towards families. You're not gonna have a
Yeah.
movie
And
with
kids.
no talking. You know,
That's true. That's true.
your parents are gonna go see it, and kids are gonna go see it. I don't know. There's got to be a lot of money
really
behind
weird
it.
to have a movie with Keegan, with Key Peele or whatever.
Well, Toad won't
Jack
talk.
Black, Chris Pratt,
Right?
Seth
have a little
Rogen,
voice
all
lines,
these
they'll just make
Charlie
noise.
Day. These are
Yeah.
all people whose like winning qualities are
I just
their
don't
speech. You know, either
know.
they're funny or they Jack Black.
But they don't actually
I-
talk a lot, right? Like Bowser
don't
doesn't
know how-
talk.
Bowser makes noises.
They all just make noises.
Yeah,
Mario will
but-
actually say words. Luigi will say words a little bit.
Talking Bowser would be
All of
weird.
these.
That's
all
what I'm
of
saying.
these
Same with Donkey.
I don't like all of them as comedians like by themselves are just fucking fantastic. They're fucking hilarious, but I
Right,
don't
they're all
know
great
if, like-
actors.
yeah, and it's like if you put all of these comedic like geniuses together,
Yeah.
I feel
I-
like it's gonna clash.
I don't think it's necessarily going to be a bad movie, but
Right,
I think
because
you're
I'm
not.
sure they're gonna
I
do
think
well.
you guys are right. It's going to be family oriented and towards kids, right? Because it's
Yeah.
Mario. It's a kids game.
And then Nintendo wouldn't
then
want
they-
this to be bad, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I would expect Nintendo to really be kind of like keeping quality control.
Right.
And I'm also not surprised that they haven't said much more because Nintendo is kind of like known for being very stingy with
Right.
information
There
they
probably
give out.
won't be much till. So it's supposed to be. It's slated for Christmas of 2022. Is when it's
Okay.
slated for.
Interesting.
Chat is saying, or Mopasta in chat is saying
Yeah.
that it's kind of like gonna be like Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, and that's what.
I
Okay,
like
that's what a
that.
lot of people compared it to originally, and I think that was received well, right? But like people
Yeah,
at first were like, "Oh, this is kind of weird." When it was first revealed
Yeah.
that Ryan Reynolds was just voicing Pikachu, it was like,
trailer
"Oh,"
Yeah, it was
was
kind of
right? It was a little off-putting for a second, and we're like, "Oh," but then it's
Because
just
he was-
Ryan
he
Reynolds
was
is.
Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's like Ryan Reynolds is funny, so it was like kind of okay, and his
Well, and
voice.
there's
is...
also another point to it too. Is
Yeah.
that Pikachu never talks.
yeah, that's
Right?
like he just says
Toad never
Pika.
talks. DK, as you guys were saying earlier, like the only character that really
Oh.
talks in Mario is Mario.
And that's why that theory about the Mario like coughing and then all of a sudden talking, like Pikachu kind of does that in the movie. If you guys have seen it,
Yeah.
he'll like act like he can't actually talk. He'll do like a
He's like, finally, I could talk.
yeah, and then he
Look
then,
at
like
that.
clears his throat and says Pika, and then he like just talks normal to the guy just to act like yeah. So
yeah,
I'm
I
sure
don't know,
it'll.
maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of boomers that would be, I grew up playing, Super Mario Brothers 2. Like that's not my
Bro.
Mario.
It's always gonna be like that with all
True.
these game movies.
With
all
anything,
of these
yeah.
game movies, Sonic. Look at Sonic. But the thing about Sonic.
The
is
Sonic one
that
turned
a
out
lot-
okay.
Yeah, but
Did it?
remember they had to
Yeah,
remodel
they're doing
him
another
because
one.
all of the backlash.
Oh well,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
that was
the
a whole
original
nother
model was
thing.
freaky.
Yeah. I don't know how that got past quality control too on that one, the Sonic
Well,
thing.
they fixed them. They listened to the fans.
Yeah.
All the fans complained so much of the artwork of Sonic
Well,
that they changed
it's
it for
nuts that
the-
they went through the entire movie and changed that like that.
I do feel bad for the designers.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
probably pumped about it.
But it's like, of course,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do justice of like one of the first video game movies, then you might as well do justice on it. Don't just throw it in there and be like, okay, here's the movie of Sonic,
mhm.
first like kind of big video game movie, and not do it justice by the fans,
Yeah.
the people who support you through it all, basically.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll get something similar, where they'll like give us a trailer
God.
and
I'm
you
nervous
know,
for
I
the
know I'm a
trailer.
little nervous. I mean, it's technically like a year from now, basically, not that much longer.
I think Charlie Day is Luigi. I hope he has a prominent role.
I think he
because
could be funny.
Charlie Day playing like the anxious, nervous Luigi would be perfect.
I think
He's
that'll be
perfect
funny,
for it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay, and then so Anya Taylor-Joy, if you guys haven't really watched some of her movies, I just think she will do a good Princess Peach, but I don't know how much she's gonna talk. Blah blah blah.
Mopasta in chat is saying that he thinks the Mario movie will be a flop because of Chris Pratt, because most of his characters in his acting
I don't think
is
so.
very similar. He acts
True.
the same in almost
Well,
like all his movies and shows.
True.
Well, that's true, but they'll
so
just
did
make
Will
Mario.
Ferrell, and Will Ferrell made some huge movies.
Yeah, they'll just make Mario be. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't care
What?
what you guys say. I don't like Will Ferrell. He was the one in Talladega Nights, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I fucking hate him in that
Oh,
movie.
Mel,
I don't like-
you
I
hate
don't
Will
like
Ferrell?
that movie.
Whoa, whoa,
I like
whoa,
Will
whoa,
Ferrell.
whoa, whoa.
I like Will Ferrell, but not in that
Whoa.
movie. But That was one of his
Oh,
iconic
okay.
movies.
You don't like that movie?
I
What?
hate
You
that
don't like
movie.
Ricky Bobby?
I don't like that movie for some reason, no matter how many
Holy
times
Shake
I've
and
watched
bake.
it.
Shake and Bake, Ricky Bobby?
I can't. No, he annoys me. I don't know why.
Okay,
just
well, if
that
you find a
movie.
character annoying in a movie, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
But
I
I
think
think
that Mario will do fine just
Yeah.
because what was you saying, families and Christmas and kids.
they're gonna gear it towards that. Yeah, Christmas.
It's gonna be a
yeah.
movie that ends up getting like a 6.7 on IMDb, but makes its money
True.
back. You know.
Yeah.
Because it's Mario. I mean, we really
it's
haven't
Mario.
had a Mario movie since that old one.
Mario is one of those
Like-
few video game characters that I think is probably like actually known worldwide.
Yes, it is actually like it is a character known worldwide because there was, for example, there was a Donkey did a video on this recently. Okay, I watched it. He did prank calls to random restaurants nearby, and he asked people how they felt about Chris Pratt being Mario. And a lot of people actually didn't know who Chris Pratt was, but they knew who Mario was. Right? So
Yeah, I
that
can see
goes
that.
into your point of like most people know who Mario is. Not everybody knows who Chris Pratt is, I guess. You know, if you don't watch TV
Also,
or
Guardians of the Galaxy, be
well,
like,
do
Yeah.
you guys have you guys watched Parks and Rec?
I have not fully watched the show, but
I
know
mean,
it's
yeah, I've
hilarious.
watched.
Are you
watched it.
familiar with what his character is though?
Yeah, he's the idiot.
Okay. Well,
So
so
he's
for
the
me, like,
idiot in the show.
Yeah,
I guess like yeah, he plays a complete.
he's
dumbass.
the dummy.
He's like a golden retriever, like but human form.
Yeah.
And so seeing him in Guardians of the Galaxy for me was like, okay, this like silly golden retriever man is now this like, superhero, but it works.
But he plays the same character, kind
You know,
of.
I'm not gonna rush a judgment.
No,
but
he
it
plays
just-
the same
it-
character in that, though. Essentially,
Uh,
he plays a dummy.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, he plays a dummy,
Yeah.
funny guy, but he's a little bit on the
I guess
smarter
the only
end.
difference is that he got ripped. So you're right. But
He did get, yeah, he did get ripped. I mean, he stayed ripped, and that was the movie that got him ripped.
True. Anyways,
Yeah, we can. Let's.
jury's out, but
We'll see basically, and I think we'll
Captain,
probably.
we
We'll,
should do
what's
a
that?
movie night for Talladega Nights. I'm like, fuck.
oh my god,
Have Mel
do
sit
it.
through it again.
Ugh.
You ain't first, you're last.
Well, I'm a little. While we're on that topic, I'm a little afraid because I've heard if you go back and watch Step Brothers again with Will Ferrell, that it's
Yeah.
like really bad. I haven't done it. Like I don't know.
I
Is that
mean-
just because it's from 2008? Like the humor was different. The jokes don't hit as hard. It was a long time ago.
I've watched it.
And you thought it was funny?
I-
Yeah.
I personally thought it was funny.
Okay,
But,
okay.
I mean, I guess there's a lot. I won't.
I'm sure Talladega
I'm
Nights
not
is
gonna
still
try to
funny.
be inflammatory, but I think people are a lot more sensitive to stuff. Not, I don't mean like
True.
snowflake type thing. I
Right,
just
right.
think people are a lot more like pick up on stuff and really get like angry about it a lot easier.
I feel you. If
Yeah,
I don't know if
you're
you
right.
guys watch comedy shows. Have you guys watched Dave Chappelle's last show?
I haven't
I
watched
have
it, but I
not,
know a
but
lot
I
of
have
people.
seen a lot about
We
it.
could even get into that if you guys
I
want.
do love
Watch that,
Chappelle,
watch
but
that.
that's mostly based off the Chappelle show. So
I was gonna say we could segue into that. It's not a topic, but if we want to talk about it, it's up to you guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
I mean,
throwing that in there too.
yeah, I mean that's so Dave Chappelle like that. From what I understand, he says some stuff that is inflammatory. I guess my stance on it is comedy has always been something that kind of pushes the envelope.
True.
Comedy is not meant to be a space that is just like pat you on the back. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the most like revered comedians of all time, Patrice O'Neill. He has a bit where he basically shits on any and everybody of across the entire of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's just been a thing. I feel like in
Yeah,
comedy.
It's comedy in general.
Yeah.
Like if you watch all comedy shows, it's around specifics like, race, about their
Stereotypes.
culture, about
Yeah.
stereotypes, and that's all given throughout comedic
yeah,
It's just a way to
comedians.
laugh about it.
Yeah.
You know.
And
yeah.
it's like
Like-
if you're not open minded
But-
about it,
Well, do you know
then-
exactly what was said? Does anybody know? Because I didn't.
yeah. I know
watch
what
it.
I know what was
said-
said.
So I might be
He
the only
said-
person because I haven't listened to it at all. I haven't watched
he
it.
just got a lot of backlash from the LGBTQ community
Because he said some
he
trans stuff, right?
Yeah.
He said a lot. He
Okay.
said I watched it, and I was gonna say this is the reason why he says. Well, first, this one takes place in Denver again, and I guess Denver was one of his most controversial shows that he's done last time, and then this is his final one. He did it again in Denver,
Okay.
and he was just backlashing, just telling straight out facts at the same time. Like if you're not open minded about this and you're heavy on LGBTQ community and all that, I
Mhm.
can see why people are offended about it.
Mm-hmm.
but also like some of the things he says
Was just
are
pretty
kinda true.
offensive.
It's just,
Oh, okay.
it's offensive, but it's also true if you think about it. If you're open-minded, you keep that sense of like, okay, you see his side and you see their side, you can see why
Somebody might.
it's
Go ahead.
I mean, like at a certain level, it's partially like empathizing and being able to like literally put yourself in someone else's shoes. But on the other hand, you know, as we were saying, comedy isn't, you know, comedy is meant to kind of be like on the cuff and kind of pushing the envelope. And from what I understand, he had a friend that was a trans comedian. He made some comments in a previous special.
yeah.
Got a lot of flack from the trans community. That comedian backed him up and was like, "Guys, this is okay." And then the trans community like dogpiled on her, and she killed herself like 5 days later.
Yeah, she passed away, and then Dave Chappelle was like, I even had like a trans friend who said it was okay, like it was he
That was
basically
the
cleared
main
it up with her.
backlash.
Yeah.
So just one.
And yeah, well, so but what the idea was that it was it was a trans comedian that he was good friends with, and when he was getting a lot of backlash for his comments about
Right.
you know the
Okay.
trans community,
Okay.
she
Yeah.
you know the comedian
Yep.
had backed him up, being like, guys, lay off, like this is totally fine in the scope of comedy. And then she in turn
Right.
got a bunch of flack and then ended up killing herself.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's because of one
Wow.
thing or another.
Well,
but,
yeah, but just right.
it's,
The
you know,
barrage of comments and stuff.
yeah,
Probably.
So
Okay, I did
now,
not know
one
that.
one thing that I did find a bit interesting was the Netflix. There's a big protest at Netflix's.
Yeah, that just happened recently, I think.
And
This week.
I mean, I didn't see. You know, it's a short video, and there's always stuff that happens before a video, right? That you don't get to see. With a lot of these, like, you know, just somebody pulls out their phone, starts recording some shit that's going on.
Yeah.
But like, the dude is basically getting like abused. It was like almost like a MAGA crowd. With like beating on this guy, and all his sign said was like, "We stand with Dave," and like it was like you showed up to a Trump rally with a big, you know, a big sign saying "fuck Trump," and a bunch of like MAGA heads were trying to like beat the shit out of you.
Is this is
it
this in
was
California? Where is Netflix's
Yes.
headquarters? Okay.
Yes. It was weird. So I think that sometimes people need to just like take a step back, and it almost like it reminds me of like the Tyler the Creator meme, you know, where he's like, you know, how can cyberbullying be real? Just turn off your computer, like just like turn off your screen kind of thing. Like if you don't like the special, then just turn it off.
Well,
Cancel your subscription.
well,
You know,
yeah.
let them know in the thing that, hey, I'm canceling it because of this. But like, I don't think you're not gonna really change like the people's minds who you're trying to change
Yeah.
aren't gonna be affected by this kind of shit.
That's
So
fair.
like, there's got to be a better way of doing it. You know,
Um,
I agree with a lot of the complaints.
Yeah.
In a general sense, it's just I don't.
I might have
think
to
we
watch
can
it.
do
I mean, I still haven't watched it, and I don't know. In general, like I've found, like I feel like maybe people haven't. I mean, can we go back to his show back in the day, right? I mean, he did
No, he
some
doesn't
really.
want it. I mean,
No, I mean,
doesn't
let's not
want
go
to
back
do
to
that.
it, but I'm saying he did some real offensive stuff back
Oh, the
in the
very
day on the
first
show.
episode of
He
this,
did
the very
so
first
Yeah.
much offensive
episode
stuff.
of the Chappelle Show is the black white supremacist.
Yeah, so
Like,
Yeah, I rewatched those like
Pretty
because I
recent.
was in this binge watch these comedy shows. I watched Kevin Hart. I watched him. There was
Yeah.
another white dude that I watched where he is hella sexist about women.
yeah,
I watched that. Like I've watched like overall different versions of people's comedic like shows and stuff, and
Mhm.
like it depends on you. It depends on people because people get so sensitive nowadays to the point where it's like you can't enjoy a joke without being like, oh, watch out, somebody's gonna talk shit about you
Yeah.
because of what you're saying. Like, but that's you know that's always back and forth. That's the point.
I mean,
of
if you don't like,
comedy,
yeah, if you don't like their content, I don't know, yeah, then just watch a different comedian, right? It's like it's almost
Yeah,
like at the
yeah.
end of the day, just do that. But now
Like,
we
they're not
have
gonna be-
this, yeah.
they're not going to be doing comedy anymore if you don't go to the show. You know,
Yeah.
if they're not
That's
selling
true.
tickets.
I mean,
like,
again,
what are you gonna play?
I haven't heard exactly what was said, but yeah, I just know this is a big. And then right, I mean, the other side of the story, not the other side of the story, but Netflix has sided with him, right? Isn't that what I've heard? Netflix sided with Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle, like because people wanted this stuff taken off Netflix, and they're like, no, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah,
We're
they
okay
told
with
Netflix
his
also
stuff.
paid
Yeah.
$45 million for that. So
Yeah. Well, okay. So
But
I mean,
it's
true.
not
But I think they might have
realistic.
actually. I think they might have actually came out and said like, we're fine with the special or whatever. But yeah, like you're saying, they
mean-
did pay a lot of money for it or whatever.
you'd be hard pressed to find a single comedian that doesn't say anything that
Offensive
offends
to
anybody
somebody.
ever.
Right.
Like good luck, honestly.
Right. So,
Anyways,
well, yeah.
And
I
a lot
mean,
of these like mixed with their experiences as well. Like I know they add on to it, but most of these comedians have like experiences from growing up. That's why they talk about it and they joke about it.
right.
yeah,
It's a
True.
way for them to like make fun of what was dumb back then or like what was funny to them
Yep.
at the time. So it's
Yeah.
like
I
who
mean,
are you to judge what happened to them too?
it's kind of it's like that phrase, if you don't laugh, you'll cry type thing. You sometimes have to find the comedy in these more
And
difficult
yeah,
parts of life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just gonna,
exactly. No, you're right. I agree.
Everything's gonna be so serious.
Yeah.
yeah, Joker time. Watch
All right,
some
we can
serious
segue
stuff.
away from that. I think we pretty much covered.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that, and then we can come back to it another day if something else happens.
I mean, you can transition to since you were talking about
Yes.
like the strike on Netflix, the strikes that have been happening around like
Yeah, we can
the
about like employees and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, how much do you guys know? Well, let me just get into it, I guess, a little bit. So, Affliction, what? You just know a lot about it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you go ahead.
Well, I'm just gonna give the overview for chat and everything. So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I can only think of a couple off the top of my head, but right now, so employees at Kellogg's, John Deere, I mean Amazon. Obviously, it's been happening forever at Amazon.
Yeah.
I think there's a few at Starbucks. I don't know, but basically a bunch of workers are on strike. I think all of, or at least 10,000 plus at John Deere are, or maybe their entire employees. I don't know. Kellogg's, I think it's their entire employee group of 1,400 people. Basically,
many
everybody's
people
on
are
strike
there?
because they're just like, okay, you guys, CEOs have made more money in the last year. Like every CEO's made more money, and then workers' pay hasn't gone up, right? So I mean, there's probably more to it than that, but basically, there's a lot of people on strike right now because people want better wages and living wages, and yeah. So yeah, what do you guys know about it? What do you guys want to talk about it? I mean, there's a lot going on with it. I don't know how long people have been on strike. I can pull up an article while you guys talk about it, actually.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the first thing to note is
I'll do the John Deere one.
Unions and employees acting as a collective, in the interests of workers,
Right.
is a kind of power that was very strong.
I see food
in the
prices
50s,
going up.
and has been gradually eroded to until the modern day. And so this kind of action is something that used to be seen a lot more, and but we're not used to it, so it's kind of like a shocking thing to us. And it's also probably like I would imagine like an aspect of like a domino effect to it,
Mm-hmm.
where you see these like large workforces going on strike, and you work for a similarly large company, you have similar issues, and you guys say, well, why the hell aren't we doing this? But I mean, I don't think that this is like I mean, I think it's ultimately healthy in the sense that employees should have more bargaining power with
Yeah.
their employer, especially and particularly in the context of large like international corporations. But
Like John Deere specifically, or it's like just in
well,
general?
I mean, yeah, like Amazon,
Or like
John,
Amazon,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, like these multi-billion-dollar corporations that are basically the epitome of what you're describing, what CEOs making more. I mean, case in point, remember Jeff Bezos flying to space and then coming back down and being like,
Well,
"You just want to say thanks to you guys. The money
Yeah.
that you guys paid and spent, it got me to space." It's like, well, and you say that while you have employees who are given a 5-minute break and have to hold their, can't go take a piss for 2 hours
Yeah.
because they're on the floor.
And that's what
you know,
Amazon
like,
employees are striking more about, I think. I don't think it's pay for them. I think it's more like
Yeah,
break
yeah,
it's
times
the
and work
working
hours.
conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's multifactorial. It's going to
Yep.
depend on the company, but I think ultimately there's like
Right.
a kind of collective, realization that hey, we as employees actually have more bargaining power than
Then we
we think
yeah.
if we just organize and do it.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, do you guys think it's a good thing, right? Yes. No.
Well, I mean,
Depends, I
it can.
guess.
Yeah, it
It
depends.
depends on
It
the
depends.
situation.
True.
Did you guys remember that big controversial strike with McDonald's?
No.
Like
No.
a
I
few
didn't.
years ago. This
No.
was like I think 7 years ago,
Okay.
when minimum in California was about, let's say, like, I think minimum was 12 for us,
Okay.
or around that time, or $10 to $12
A few years ago. Okay.
McDonald's was asking, or employees of McDonald's, especially in like say in Compton, LA, that was a big controversial thing. This is like, not like the that city's not well known to be like very good in paying or whatever. It's like a poor city basically.
Okay.
And it's like these guys were asking for $15 an hour. And even over there at the time, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, barely medical people were getting
I
like
remember
paid
what's- yeah.
$15, $16, and then yet these McDonald's people who have no
Oh, I
education and all
do
that
remember hearing this.
were asking to have $15 an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
And everybody was like on the McDonald's side because those people were all in the fast food industry. But then it's like, what gives you the right to have more than people who got educated? Then what's the point of people getting educated and getting a better, like,
yeah.
there's some people who are like in the medical field. So you're telling me that a McDonald's worker
It's gonna make
should
as
get
much.
paid as much as a fucking
Yeah.
person who works like for an ambulance, who works for the fire department? Like,
Right.
why are you
Mhm.
guys asking for so much money when like these people actually got their education? They're saving lives. You guys
Well,
Yeah.
I get it. You guys are feeding people, but still, it's like, I know how some people work. I had a roommate who fucking was a manager at McDonald's. I had friends who worked at McDonald's, and it's like, you guys don't deserve to fucking make as much as somebody who works in the medical field or something like that. That's just
Well-
that's my opinion.
Yeah.
from that
so
point.
okay. So I mean, and in the vein of, you don't like. Okay, so inflation is a real thing. So $15 10 years ago is not equivalent to $15 today. So that is something to be taken into account. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a salaried worker, it's expected that your salary increases by about 1.2% a year because of that inflationary rate.
Yeah.
Now, on top of that, you have dimensions. Whereas, okay, so you have large financial institutions and large, banks. You have real estate companies like Zillow that are purchasing up housing and driving the price of housing up, and as well as rent. So,
Yeah.
while the job may not necessitate it, all of a sudden you're priced out of the area that you live in, not due to anything that you did. It's just uh, there's been like an insane concentration of wealth at the very upper
Top.
echelon
Yeah.
of society,
The
so to speak.
1%.
And in turn, that you have more power over just the vast majority of people. So like, if somebody buys, if you live in an apartment complex and a new rental company buys your place and decides to up rent by $400 a month, because they are trying to make it like this fancy thing, you might say, okay, well, fuck you, I'll go find a new apartment. But what happens when all the apartments in a mile radius have been purchased by similar companies, and now all of a sudden you realize,
They're
well, wait,
all-
I
yeah.
can't get anywhere, and so when I have to move now. So I
Yeah.
do understand the plight. Now, I do think that there are some unrealistic expectations.
That's very
It's a
unrealistic.
hefty amount of money to work a
Right.
register. And what I think will happen is this. I do think that these companies will increase wages, but I also do think that these companies are just being given even greater incentives to automate their workforce. And so while they may take a short-term increase
Right. That's true.
in
Specifically, what
in
we're talking about.
wages, yeah, long term they'll just automate everything, and
Yeah.
then they won't have to pay any of those people.
Yeah. Eventually, it'll get there.
So it's a delicate situation, because you don't want to be so demanding that you basically spur a incentive for the companies to just get rid of you entirely. And I can give
Yeah.
you a historical
Well,
example here.
yeah.
In New York, elevators nowadays, we just press a button and it goes up, right?
Right. There used to be
Uh,
the elevator person or whatever,
the
right?
operators, and the
Yeah.
operators thought that they deserved better pay, and so they all went on strike. And so
Yeah.
what did all
And
the
then it
building
became
managers do?
automatic.
They were just like, well, let's just automate it, and all of a sudden there are no more elevator operators. So
Wait,
I
That's
don't know.
what they're kind of doing in McDonald's now too, because most of
Yeah.
McDonald's has like those automatic machines where you just pay at the thing, or you could talk to the register.
Exactly. So, I think that it's good that employees are trying to use are recognizing their bargaining power and trying to leverage that for better working conditions, especially in the case of something like Amazon, where it's not even pay; it's
It's
just
working
Amazon not treating
conditions.
their employees
Yeah.
well.
It's working conditions
But,
and hours, I believe.
You also have to be careful that you don't basically become too much of a, I guess, in the eyes of the company, a nuisance to that they just say,
Basically, you're
screw it, you know, we're done.
we could get more people, kind of thing. Because they did this thing too. They did a for Amazon hirees. They were like offering bonuses and stuff for people to sign up and apply for Amazon, because like you could easily get a job at Amazon.
Yeah.
Like that's no issue.
Yeah.
Amazon has a very unique. I was reading an article like a year ago. Amazon has a very unique problem in that they've actually hired so many people. So many people have worked for them and then left that they actually don't have a huge pool of people out there that haven't already worked for them. You know, that they're going
Yep.
for. You know what I mean? Like you put out these ads and say, hey, come work for us, but a lot of folks are saying, oh yeah, been there, done that, not doing that again. You know, if you've burned too many bridges, like, it's you know, what can you do? I
That's
guess
happening with
offer more
the
money.
post. Yeah, that's what happening with the post office right now.
Oh yeah, they're hiring near me. I saw signs recently that weren't there before. They're hiring for everything right now. The post office. Well, that's a whole nother topic of like a lot of people not wanting to work right now too. But
being a postman would be kind of lit. I'm not
I
gonna
actually
lie.
know.
My dad was
I've thought about it. Your dad?
My dad was a mailman for 20 years.
See, I thought about it like when I was younger. I mean, I don't know.
But you know, here's another meme though. That's
Uh-oh.
a meme itself. Filipinos are known to be mailmen.
Okay.
I have not seen
That-
one
I have
Filipino
never heard
mailman
that.
in my
I have
life.
never heard
Number
that.
one.
Really?
Get out of here. I
Okay,
haven't seen
then
a
you're in
single
areas-
Filipino
you guys
white
are in
man.
areas-
Or Fili-
you guys are in areas where you don't live.
There's a
in,
lot
like,
of
a heavy
white people
Filipino-
here, yeah.
Yeah. So it's either white people or Filipino people. My dad is in that category
Okay.
of being a mailman.
Okay. So over where you live, apparently there's a lot of Filipino mailmen.
I've learned something.
Yes.
Today.
That's great.
The Filipino mailman force is out.
It is.
That's
and mail
great.
woman. We won't
Correct.
discriminate.
Yeah.
Now I know there's a lot of Filipino like nurses, female nurses, right?
Oh,
Isn't that a
that's
thing?
already a given.
That's like okay.
That's already a given. If it's like, okay, you're Filipino, oh, you're automatically gonna go into nursing. Don't even get me started on that topic.
Okay. Let's see. Let's move on to another topic. If you guys are ready.
So, I have a question. It is
Yeah.
Yes.
a new topic.
Yeah.
It's going back to Netflix though.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Can anybody explain to me,
Uh-oh.
I guess without spoilers,
Mm.
why the hell
Uh-oh.
is Squid Game
Oh.
popular?
Well,
Oh.
because it's a
okay.
great show. I mean,
I have
It-
not seen it.
well, it's just a great Korean show. I mean, Mel wants to get
Okay.
into it. Go ahead.
Is it weebs? It's
No,
weebs?
no, it's
No,
like
no, it's not weak.
it's a very serious
okay,
show,
Think of
violent show.
Think of like
I can give it a synopsis.
okay, yeah. I don't know if you want to give it away before he like
If you're
watches
gonna,
it.
if it can't be explained without spoilers, then don't worry about it.
Well,
I
no,
just,
I'm just
Think of
gonna.
I
it
saw that
the-
it was the highest grossing or like the best release of that Netflix.
It's very
ever had
entertaining.
or
I can
something.
I can just give you
I'm-
the
it
synopsis.
just
Is that
shocks me.
spoiling? I mean, it's just
good
telling you what
because
it's about.
Another battle royale. It's a battle royale.
Uh-oh.
Did
Kind
you-
of like a battle royale
Fortnite.
show. Sure.
Not
No, but it's
Fortnite,
not
don't
like
think
that. It's like
Fortnite. no.
no. Think of like you're competing in games against each other. This is it. It's okay. Think of battle royale. You compete in games against each other with the goal of getting rich at the end, but they find out that you die in these games.
You have to kill people.
Like well, not necessarily kill people, but like you compete in
most
something. If you
dangerous
don't complete it, like you'll either die or get killed by the
yeah.
people that run it.
So it's
That's all
just
it
like,
is.
It's like Hunger Games.
Yeah, it's like Hunger Games, but
Kind of, but you're not trying to go out and kill
totally
people.
different. Yeah.
For example, what's
fair.
the first game? The first game is that doll.
Red
Have you
light,
seen
green
the
light.
meme of the doll?
I've seen the meme with the doll. At the
So
end,
it's
like a
red.
big,
It's
long
red
field.
light, green light. Basically, they have to run across a field, and when the doll is turned around looking at them, you have to be completely still. If you're not still, that doll you die from being shot by turrets in the wall. And
Is there any
that's-
incentive to being the first person across?
No, you just need to make it within the
says
time limit.
You have to beat all these
Oh,
games
okay. So there's a
in
time
order
limit. I was gonna
win.
say, what kind of dumbass?
Yeah, and
is,
there's like
sprinting?
8 games or something, and then you have to be the last one to survive all the games. And there's a whole good story.
Maybe I'll
The
try.
characters are developed really well. It's all in Korean, and that's it.
I actually did hear that it makes a big difference if you watch it with subtitles.
I don't know why
with
people would watch it dubbed.
with-
Oh god.
Dubs. Yeah.
Yeah, but even then it's because of Korean. That it's like in any other language, translation to English is always gonna be lost, even a little bit.
Yeah.
It makes a difference with translation. Like it's still.
I
gonna
hope
be-
nobody
watch
watched it
Watch
dubbed.
it sub.
No.
Don't watch it dub. Watch it.
Yeah,
sub.
watch it subbed. Yeah.
All right. I'll give it.
Well,
a
it's just
try.
like Parasite, the movie, that one movie of the year,
I
a year
never
ago.
watched
Right?
that one actually. I need to
That's
watch
like
that one
Korean
sub.
movies are fantastic. Like that
You
movie was
streamed that?
insane.
Yeah. I once
I did
tried to
stream
watch
it one
that
time in
with
Discord,
you.
actually, yeah.
I
I don't remember when
was
I watched
so
that.
tired. It was at like 3.
Oh, it was like very late. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. I got like halfway through, but I couldn't follow along.
It's a very
anymore,
good
and then
movie.
I like lost track for like 15 minutes and had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll try it out.
But yeah, that's
I
Sorry
like
to
the,
that's
like,
good. No.
derail.
I mean, that was kind of on the topic. There wasn't really gonna be much about it. Just was gonna be like, how do you guys like the show if you watched it, basically. But yeah, watch it, dude.
So-
Whenever you have spare time, literally watch Squid Game. I mean, I haven't heard anybody not like it. I guess.
Yeah.
You think it warrants the whole like best, TV show of the year kind of hype that it has, or is it just going to be like?
It's
It's
I
just
think-
quality
where it's just,
entertainment.
like,
I think
people are not
yeah,
talking
it's
about it in a
really
month.
good.
No,
it's
it's-
a really good show to watch.
Oh, people will probably still talk about it because I don't know. It's just one of those shows that leaves an impression
You know why? Because
because it's unique.
It's a Korean show that's coming across to Netflix as
Yeah.
Netflix is known for like American-based movies kind of thing, and the fact that these Korean shows are taking over, or
Yeah,
these
like it's
Korean movies are
good.
coming over, it's like they're making a big deal because of the whole Asian community. Like, oh, it's an Asian-based community show kind of thing. That it's getting all the hype
Yeah.
because that's how all like movies are that aren't American-based made. They
Mhm.
get like that. They get hyped up like that.
That's true. I mean, foreign films only really make it into the American like kind of social discussion and sphere if they are like just like mega hyped, like that good,
Yeah.
kind of deals.
Like another one is Train to Busan. If you guys haven't
Train
seen
to
that,
Busan was
that's
really
another
good,
Korean.
yeah.
Seen
That's a
that either.
Korean zombie movie. That's really good. I haven't seen the sequel, but I do want to see the sequel. I heard it's not as good.
Is it a
but-
show that is going to have a second season, or is it? Kind of like
I don't know if it's
a one-shot?
confirmed. It's probably going to because of how much money it made.
Probably not
True.
even
I mean,
just
right.
how it's made, but it's not fully finished. Like it's like a cliffhanger towards the end.
Yeah, but like, yeah. I mean, anytime something makes money, you know what I mean.
They're gonna continue.
Somebody's
it.
gonna
Yeah,
be
they're
like,
gonna
let's
end-
make more money and ruin the show. But that's my consensus. But who knows? It'll probably be good if they make another
Money
season.
does make the world go round.
So okay, we're pretty actually I mean, you guys know we always talk a lot, which is good. It's never a bad thing, but we're actually kind of getting towards the end. So there's 2 topics I want to hit up on really quick, especially with Mel's chat being in here. That one being podcast name. Number 2 would be, if we want to get into it really quick, would be well, we could just do podcast name.
DMCA.
Yeah, it's DMCA stuff, but that's like a whole nother topic.
I could talk for a while. on
I
that.
could talk for a while on DMCA too, so maybe we can save that for next week.
next week. Okay.
And it's in the
Twitch
scope of
DMCA
that.
is not going away.
Yeah, in the scope of that, it's not even just Twitch DMCA. We'll talk about DMCA as a whole in general, as like just an
Okay.
idea and everything. But I think we can save that for next week. Podcast name is a very hard thing to do. Basically, yeah, what I was doing, if you guys saw any of my messages, was basically I would think of a name and then I would Google it later afterward, or Google it and see
Yeah.
if the name had been taken. Funny thing is, a lot of the names I Googled literally were just taken in like the last
Are all
year.
taken?
Well, but they were just taken very recently, which like
Yeah.
annoyed me.
There have been so many fucking podcasts.
Yeah, that's
created,
another thing, right?
so
Yeah. So
it's-
that's why it's hard.
It's like band names, back in the there's so
Yeah.
many times where a band starts playing under a certain name, and they get like a cease and desist from some band in like the '60s that had the name, and it's like, all right, I guess you got to find something new.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, coming up with a name is not easy.
I mean, yeah, so if anybody, if you guys think of something, I guess Mel thought of For the Win, which is not a FTW podcast, which is not taken,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
No way that
That is
is
not
not
If you
taken.
Google
The
it,
o-
you find
Google it,
nothing.
The only thing taken was Purple for the Win, and that's a sports.
It's a
team
Minnesota
podcast.
Vikings podcast.
Oh, let's go, skull.
Which
let's
is
go.
funny. It's Purple for the Win is Minnesota Vikings. Afflictions from
But
Minnesota.
No one's taken for the Win podcast.
Yeah, which
For the
surprised.
Win podcast.
Yeah, just
There's no fucking
I
way.
know, right? So I was actually doing something similar to that, Mel.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just googled. There is definitely a
What do you mean?
podcast called For the Win.
What? Where?
Well, is it?
Maybe it's not active anymore.
You
I
can
don't
link
know.
it. Well, that's the other thing. So basically, what I tried
Link
doing to be creative was actually like looking up gaming terms and then using that as like a
Some of
podcast,
the
right?
Stuff that you were just throwing out, I was just like, really, Rob? Really?
Dude, okay. Well, it's hard to come up with a name, right? I mean, think about it.
What is it?
When I googled For the Win podcast. Let me do it. I googled that on my work
Taking
computer.
on COVID-19.
I see the Purple FTW podcast.
It's a political
It's
podcast.
a political podcast.
Oh, I do see it. Free internet radio. Tune in. Stream FTW podcast free online. There's one link out of all of them, but the rest are purple. I think the only other one. I mean, we basically. I'm giving chat. I feel like chat's not gonna be very good at giving names because chat's just like, let's come up with a dumbass name. But
See,
basically,
I would be good at coming up with like shit post names if I was in chat, but
yeah.
now that it's something
Now that it's like
heard of,
applies to you,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah. Now it's
okay,
like,
wait a minute. I don't want to come up with a dumbass shitty name. Well, okay, so I mean, I don't know. I tried thinking of things that we all three had somewhat similar in
I
common.
did like Guilty Spark. Guilty Spark.
Yeah,
was
the only
cool.
reason I was trying to do Halo stuff. I couldn't find. I tried doing Pillar of Autumn actually, which is, the ship that
Yeah.
you start on in Halo 1, but Pillars of Autumn was actually already taken by another gaming podcast
Of course
No.
it
a year ago,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
yeah, but they're probably lame. No, I'm just
Booty on domain.
What is it? Let me see. Booty, huh? What the? All right, Everett.
See, that's the thing.
Everybody's bringing up booty.
Raunchy.
I
there's
Yeah.
so many raunchy
Why you got a
ass
lot of
names to
raunchy
come up with.
names coming up? Yeah. Ain't nobody showing booty on the stream, are they? Who's got a booty?
I got a Hank Hill ass. Come on.
What the hell?
Fucking flat like a board.
Okay, I haven't heard that one before. Holy
I got
shit.
you some. What are those booty short?
Booty short?
Oh.
Those the ones where you put it on. It's a short, but it's
The cutoff crew.
Oh,
cushion.
oh my lord.
What? Do you mean like shorts that
It's
have like
people-
padding in them?
Yes, people
So, like,
actually have.
To make your booty
Make
big.
me look like
Yeah,
I,
to
make
make
me
a
look like I got a
booty.
dumpy.
You should,
Make it look like you got a
yeah.
dumpy, yeah. The Dumpy
Got a
podcast.
dumper.
No, wait a minute.
No.
The Dumpy?
No.
Hold on, the
I'm
Dumpy
vetoing that
podcast.
immediately.
I don't know. That
I'm
one's not bad,
immediate-
actually.
As it said.
I'm Googling the
Booty
Dumpy.
Toes- Booty Toes podcast. That's what Shaz it said.
Yeah, I mean, okay, dude. That's like literally having 0 brain cells. Come on, what is that? Okay. The Dummy podcast? No.
True.
True.
Dumpy Little
Yeah, I'm a big
Unicorn is a podcast. Shut the hell up. Dumpy Little Unicorn.
That
I just Googled
God.
Dumpy podcast. Dumpy Little Unicorn is a podcast on Spotify.
What could that possibly be?
I don't
though?
know. I'm going to look at the description.
There's also a Dumpy the Dog podcast.
It's in. Luke talks about his new novel, his writing process, and the similarities between. It's a
Alright,
legit podcast.
Almonte, this is
Conversations
why-
about books, nerding, and love is Dumpy Little. Here, I'm putting it on the screen for you guys. I don't
This
know.
is what happens when you give chat the power to come up with names.
Well,
They
I'm just
say,
saying.
"Good
I was bringing it up to
podcasting,
you guys, and I'm bringing it up to.
Folks with Toes podcast.
There you go. Dumpy Little Unicorn. Okay. I don't
Shake
know.
and Bake
It's a thing.
podcast.
That's an actual brand. Shake and Bake is a
know.
brand. So,
I-
so yeah, the
I
thing
know.
is coming up with a podcast name is very hard, but we should probably come up with one pretty soon. I don't know. It's tough. And then just something to think about before the next podcast. Just like a filler, not a filler, but for next week, same time, right, guys? Thursday. And then the week after, I think we wanted to do Monday, unless you guys have something going on next Thursday. You might be?
I'm pretty confident I don't have anything going on.
Okay.
So
Oh, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good for next Thursday.
And then,
the first on November.
Yeah, the plan is to move it to Monday, which would we rather just do like that Thursday and then that Monday? That's pretty back to back almost, but that's fine, right? That's still a whole weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
Okay.
Mini Power Hour podcast.
Next week's podcast we'll have like number one, we'll talk about Twitch DMCA stuff, but next podcast will be the podcast for Halloween. It'll be the Halloween podcast, technically.
For
Yeah.
next week, yeah.
For next week, yeah.
Are you gonna dress up? Is anybody gonna?
Well, we're
dress
gonna
up
hold
as-
that for next podcast. We're gonna
Oh
keep
my God.
we're
Next podcast,
we're
right?
we're gonna keep it on the DL so people come back. Listen, you don't get to find out what we're wearing for Halloween until you come to the next podcast.
All
Okay.
I'm saying, I'm supposed to dress up for some.
Oh, you are dressing up for something?
No,
Well,
no,
don't sell us.
My work does it. Oh, I'm not doing it, but I don't even know what to do. They all go so ham. They,
That's a little
like,
scary when like everybody does
it
really
is.
crazy costumes, and
intimidating.
then you just want to come with like a mask or something,
Yeah,
right? And it's
like,
like you
it's
feel like
like-
crap.
Yeah, I would rather
Oh,
just
I
not do
felt
anything
like
at
that in
all than like
offices.
half-assed it. It's rough.
No, what,
Like,
you'd
the
go
whole
ham?
9 yards. Oh
No,
my
I
God.
never went ham. Like, it was my first time having an office job because I worked for like a corporate medical office.
Yeah.
Like a big building, right? And like they were dead serious, like wanting to do competitions for these like costumes.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like, who's the better
yeah.
department?
Oh,
And,
okay,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
We're doing a
What Affliction said. People go ham on that shit.
yeah. My job's
Yeah.
doing a pet costume contest. I'm actually doing it this year.
Aw.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Aw.
my cat a costume. I don't know. I'm just gonna go to Target and find some or PetSmart.
Have you
Turn
ever
him into
got
a
it?
lion. Make him Simba.
Did you put costumes on your cat?
I could
Does
do
he
that.
like- does
No,
he
I
like
haven't.
that?
This is gonna be the first time we're trying it. We're seeing. All we gotta do is upload a picture. All you gotta do is upload a picture, and like you can
Gotta
win
get him to
gift
stay still for a
cards.
second.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Just
I'm
one
gonna have
second.
help with it. Yeah, I'll actually maybe because I have to submit that before the next podcast, so maybe I'll bring it up on the next podcast. But anyways, if you guys want to think of podcast names when you got the time, including your chat, I don't know. Don't go to Target, Jasmine says.
After we just had this topic of El Strikes Dos.
What?
No, we were talking because he goes to Target. He works at Target.
Who goes to Target? Oh, Jasmine.
Uncle Jazz.
Oh.
He's gonna lock the doors.
My brother works at Target.
Oh, why don't? Oh, does he?
Yeah.
The Target's kind of lit though, didn't they? See, they raised their wages. I don't know how much. I think it's like
Hey,
15 minimum or
always-
something.
I've
Target.
always stand Target over Walmart.
Isn't
Oh,
it
hell
just?
yeah.
Isn't it just like it's Target, right? Like fancy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. Rebel
That
Booty
marks
podcast.
your
Okay, Everett, why does booty have to be involved every time? Ham and
All right,
cheese, actually.
New rule.
No
New
booty.
rule. If you want to offer a booty name, you also have to offer a non-booty name.
You have to do both. You have to offer both as tribute. Well, okay, dude, it's so hard to
I don't
think of a
really care.
podcast name. No, I know.
I'll actually think about it. I'll drink a few beers and think about it this week.
You know, yeah, it doesn't have to be. I don't know. It doesn't have to be the best thing ever, but
No, it does.
it's definitely hard, right? It's like just coming up with your online name, right? It's like
Oh my
kind of
gosh. Hour?
difficult, right?
The trio hour.
The trio hour. That's not bad. But what if we go
It's
past?
not bad.
What if we go past an hour, Cat?
That's true.
And then you just
False advertising.
well, yeah, and then you just like can add edits into it. No, the trio hour actually works though. Not bad. Hold on, watch. It's
yeah.
it's already taken.
Watch see if it's taken. Yeah.
It's
look
already
it up.
taken, dude.
There, yeah, that has to be.
The trio hour podcast. There's the trio happy hour.
I'm just gonna start googling like random.
Like, that's
combinations of words
pretty
just to see if it's a
close.
podcast, 'cause it
There's
seems
okay,
like everything
dude.
is.
There's so many. There's the trio happy hour. There's the what the trio.
Oh, I like that.
Harpy
What's the trio?
Harpy hour. After hour happy hour. What the hell, dude?
That's a tongue.
But there isn't just the trio hour. I don't know. The closest thing is that first one of trio happy hour, which is 3 dudes booze.
I do
and
like
their
the Guilty
opinions.
Smart podcast, but then I feel like we'd be obligated to talk a lot about Halo, which I can definitely do. But
Well, I mean, the Guilty Spark. Think of a normal individual that's never played Halo.
well,
How would it
no
mean to
idea.
them? Because when you come up with these podcast names, right? You have to think of, okay, how's it going to appeal to, you know, a non-gaming person or a non-Halo person or whatever, right? Guilty Spark probably
Yeah.
means very little to somebody.
The vast majority of people.
I
will
don't
not.
It probably
Like,
means very
because,
little, which
like,
isn't bad.
Even for a lot of
Right.
people who have played Halo, they probably don't
TGI
remember.
podcast.
That
Are-
might be trademark infringement.
Are we gonna get sued by TGI Fridays?
But
or?
there's no F in it though. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
It was
wait,
like,
the
this would
thank
be-
God we're gonna get sued by God. I don't know. Thank God.
Oh my God.
Thank
that-
God it's
oh.
podcast. That's what it'd mean. Unless TGI is gonna mean something else.
That's true. That's true.
TGI podcast.
I don't think
I
my
get it.
chat is very helpful because they're gonna add booty to all
Silent
of them.
Cartographer podcast. That's a little too long, I think. Like
Yeah, wait,
Guilty Spark
which-
sounds okay, but it's like I just don't know. It sounds a little too serious too at the same time.
Guilty Spark's also my favorite Halo character.
Oh yeah.
So I'm somewhat impartial.
What the fuck? You don't like
or
Master
partial to
Chief,
that.
bro? What the fuck? What the fuck? This man
Oh
said
my
his
God.
favorite Halo character isn't
It's
Master
like
Chief.
saying your favorite superhero is Superman. Oh my God, no.
What?
Please.
It's
Don't
not.
Insult my daddy.
I'm just
Don't
kidding.
insult my daddy.
Oh
Affliction.
shit. God,
Oh.
where'd you come out of that
It's
suit?
like saying
I'm
it's like
scared.
saying your favorite
You don't like Arbiter, dude?
Arbiter.
You don't like Sergeant
he's cool.
Johnson, bro?
Sergeant Johnson.
Guilty Spark,
they're
dude?
cool. Guilty Spark is dude. Guilty Spark's a G.
Oh,
He's been
no.
holding the fort down. He's been holding the fort down for literally millennia with the flood in there, and then all of a sudden,
Thank God it's
little
booty.
green dude and some humans come and fuck everything up, trying to kill some aliens, and then all of his work goes boom. Guilty Spark is awesome. That. Anyways,
Okay, well, it sounds like Guilty Spark podcast might be like our
back up.
like a backup almost, but like not a
Yeah.
backup. Like it might become a thing, but it's just. I mean, I'm gonna. Can one of you do a check on it for me, just real quick? Because I swear there
Guilty
was.
Spark?
Yeah. So when you Google Guilty Spark podcast, there is a podcast called 343 Guilty Spark podcast, but it's just a podcast related to like Halo stuff and like about the lore.
Yeah.
But I think it's done by the official Halo
Podcast
people.
by the actual.
Yeah,
This is
by the
by
actual
the
developers. It's not like an actual like
Okay,
individual
well.
podcast called Guilty Spark. Yeah. And then I also thought about trademarking, like for example, if for some reason we get sponsors down the road, blah blah blah, can we actually use the name Guilty Spark? I don't know. I think so. It's like I don't know if I think Guilty Spark could be copyrighted though. Right? Because 343 Guilty Spark is the full name, but they might have
Yeah.
Guilty Spark just straight up copyrighted.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah. So that's why I was like,
Dang.
if we try to monetize anything, right? For some reason down the line, it's not gonna. So that just ruined everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, side note: Guilty Spark is 100,000 years old. Another reason why he's badass.
What the
I'm
fuck?
done.
Well, what about Master Chief? How old is he? A couple hundred?
It's like 27.
Oh.
What?
I think he's older than that, but he's just putting out a number, Mel. Relax.
How
I don't
dare
think
you.
so. I don't think so. Though. Okay, I'm not even gonna start on this. I've read a lot of the Halo books. I can talk way too long about this shit.
I mean, like I can just wait a minute. I googled how old is Master Chief, and it Google says 7 years. What?
No, because
no,
No,
Master
41,
Chief is
41,
7.
41, 41.
Master Chief is 7 when
41.
he gets kidnapped.
Yeah, okay, it's 41.
Basically the same thing.
It's 40. He's a boomer. Well, he's Gen X now. It's whatever. Okay.
Gen X Master.
All right, everybody. That's podcast episode number 2. Thanks for everybody in Mel's chat trying to come up with ideas. Thanks for everybody in my chat trying to come
You
up with
just-
ideas.
you're getting a lot of booty in here.
Yeah,
The booty
uh,
lounge, they
Well,
call it
they
booty
helped a little bit. They're
Guilty
trying Magic
booty.
Muffins podcast. Okay, we're just a bunch of stoners now, I guess.
pass.
I can do that.
Yeah, we all get high. We just eat a bunch of muffins before. Yeah, next week, Thursday, same time, and I'll see you guys then. Hope you guys have a good
Alright.
week. Hope you guys have a better
Yeah.
week than this week.
Yes, sir. I gotta do some
Yeah,
shit.
you too.
I'll see you guys.
Yeah, I know you gotta go. I gotta go. I'll see you
My
guys later.
affliction.
Bye bye. Mel, are you going out? What are you doing?
I
Will,
have
welcome
no
back.
idea what I'm doing.
Welcome back. Is he back? Oh, he's gone. Is he back?
Their Discord after for a second. If you're
Oh yeah. I'm about out. Yeah.
peace out.
Later. All right, Mel. Have fun. Have fun, Mel's chat. It looks like you might get some podcast names for a minute. Not so
I
booty
know.
podcast.
You're just gonna get a lot of booty in the chat. For
Oh,
podcast
Cat King
names.
wants his own podcast. Okay, dude. All right, well, Mel, have fun. I'm gonna get out of here.
Alright, later, Zavante.
Later. Yeah, let me know if you want to talk about the podcast or anything. Just message me or whatever.
Yeah,
if you
for
have
sure.
whatever, Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye.